Hi everyone, Boomer here, and welcome to a rather special video. This is the Star Trek Armada 3 mod for Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. Now, I've decided in this video just to sort of show the game off. I'm going to do almost a highlight video on a recent game that I played. I wanted to show off the Borg because loads of people like showing off the Borg, and I just figured that I would show you how stupidly overpowered they are in this game. But there is something which is to be shown for this game. Number one is the effort that the mod makers have put in. It's absolutely unbelievable. And the other thing is, this is pretty much the only game I can remember outside of some really old stuff where they didn't play a major part, where the Borg are as scary as they are in the series. I'm putting Capital Victory on because, you know, it's a bit too heavy-handed to have to sort of go through the entire, go through and wipe out everything. I've decided to go and stomp the Klingons, and I'm going to play as the Borg. Yeah, they get large cargo benefits, I think, or at least that's something that they can research, and they get various other sort of really cool ships, including the Assimilation Cube. We love cubes, don't we? Now, in other games, the Borg tend to have, they actually have a vast culture spread through Unstoppable Signal. They can really spread their culture quickly. Now, where's the Borg hand? There it is, and I've got to put it in green, surely. I mean, that's the... Oh no, having said that though, the Borg symbol is red, isn't it? But then again, I'm up against the Klingons and their symbol's red as well, so I think I'll be green. Yeah, we'll swap that around. Green's good. That'll do. Ugh, I've obviously got to set the Klingons to... There we go. Now, the idea of this game, it's not got a campaign like either of the other Armadas do, but it's mainly just a 4X game. However, it's really well designed. I think the balance is probably a little off at the moment, but apart from that, it's just tremendously designed. I'm really looking forward to the expansion. So here we go, here's the overmap. There are two types of resources. I believe it's trianium and dilithium, and you've also got your credit summary as well. Tritanium, sorry, not trianium. It's like tritanium is probably the most common element mentioned in Star Trek, and of course I call it trianium, whatever. And you also have fleet supply and capital ship supply. So I'm setting my two detectors on auto scout. Here's the overview. We have planets we can colonize around a star, and we're really looking at summon Locutus and summon Queen. I'm sure I can do something like that. Well, let's just have a quick look around. That's the assembly matrix, fairly standard from the game. You'll recognize most of the buildings from Star Trek Armada 1 and 2. Colonies, they're what provide you with the wealth in this game. Civilian infrastructure gets you maximum population. You have two types of buildings you can build around a planet: logistics buildings and tactical buildings. Logistics buildings tend to be research centers. In our case, adaptation and assimilation node. Oh, we've got an unassimilated species already. There are neutral species all over the map, and there are also pirates on this map as well. They can be a pain in the backside, but as the Borg, they end up being an asset rather than a liability, because just like in Star Trek Armada 2, the Borg assimilate stuff ad nauseum in this game. So what I'm going to do is just keep having a look around. I am actually going to Locutus rush in this game because of the way that the research tree is set up. The Borg are very slow to build up initially as a human player, but they pretty much form a wall of complete indestructibility. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to, there's Locutus there, so as you can see he's really early in the tech tree. You only need 2 assimilation nodes to research him, so that's pretty much what I'm doing. And the cube is pretty much indestructible until you get late in the game. Each race sort of has a cheese way to destroy it, but I don't think this level of AI is competent enough for that. Plus, I think for the Klingons it's pretty much their super weapon or their Titan that can take out a cube or severely damage it, so the Klingons like majorly high up the tech tree. So I'm just going as fast as possible to get a cube on the field, because that's what Locutus is. He's a hero cube, and obviously I can do this a lot faster than I would normally be able to. This isn't a complete Locutus rush, the reason being that I'm about to build a trapezoid, which takes up one of my capital ship requirements. However, the trap will keep me safe in the early game. It's not quite as powerful as a cube, and it's really only until later levels that it starts being a thing, but it's just a really big tank early in the game, and that's pretty much what I'm building towards. So we've got a nebula here with quite a lot of dilithium around, and some pirates. Okay. Pirates can be paid off by either side. You can put a bounty on each. You can basically put a bounty on each of the races, and the pirates will do their level best to make a mess of the opposition in order to collect their bounty. Now, obviously, the Borg, once you get assimilation technology, the pirates attack you, and you just simply destroy them or assimilate them, and they end up adding to your. They end up adding to your fleet. But what I'm trying to do is establish pretty much a fork down which I can't be I have to force them down 1 or 2 avenues, because the Borg are incredibly slow at the start of the game, especially if you're doing what I am, which is Locutus rushing and building up technology. There we go, we're going to research Locutus now. If you do that, if you research Locutus, you're sort of sacking off getting early ships, because you're putting dilithium and lots of it into research, and the problem with that, of course, is that you don't have dilithium to build other ships. But the cube is so powerful, and there's only 2 ways into my space. I think that I can get away with it. Now, originally what I'd probably do if there were more than entries, I would actually build small level ships, because Borg ships are just superior to the same level ships of the other races. So I think it's definitely worth keeping hold. Just looking at other things that I can potentially research here. The dodecahedron's really expensive in dilithium. I do get them in this game, but to be honest, I'm not hugely impressed by them. I think they're a bit squishy, to tell you the truth, especially considering how much cash you've got to put into researching them. Considering, as you can see here, the trapezoid is actually free. The only thing it does is use 1 command. I decide to build it, which, if you're Locutus rushing, you can just straight up go for Locutus using your command point and not use it on the trapezoid. But the trapezoid is a pretty powerful ship, and getting it for free is pretty awesome. And what I have to do here, because of that, I have to research provisioning and a basic officer training so I can have another command point. If I don't research those, I basically can't summon Locutus because I don't have the command points to do it. So you're basically, I think as the Borg, you're allowed 10 command points by the time you're fully researched. So, you can't just spam out 50 cubes and run over your opponents with them, because really, believe me, in this game, 1 or 2 cubes is enough, certainly on a small map, certainly against the AI as well. And that we've just found is the pirate main base. You can see how it's absolutely covered in torpedoes. A cube will be able to take that down. You haven't seen them in action yet, but believe me, These things are incredible, and I think that you'll really enjoy watching them. Here's my trapezoid. Basically, I made a mistake there. I researched colonization because I was thinking of using them as a sort of a colony ship. I should just research assimilation beam. It makes everything an awful lot easier. So I now have the prerequisites, I believe, to summon Locutus in. And yeah, some of those abilities are really cool. The We Are the Borg, the Chronoton Torpedo, and the Assimilation Beam. Basically, if you're the Borg, Assimilation Beam, I pretty much think at this point, because turning the enemy's resources into yours is just amazing. You do, for me, I think you probably have to go down one of two tech routes with the Borg. You either have to go down the adapter and sphere route, which is basically you just produce a load of really superior cruisers and destroy everything, or you go down the assimilation route, which is assimilators, cubes, and maybe the odd trapezoid or something like that. I decided to sort of roleplay as the Borg in this one, and decide to go for the assimilation route. However, I believe that going the blow everything up route is probably a little bit more expedient or a little bit more efficient. Well, we have a additional technology acquired. So we've spread out to the Memnon system, and no, not much. Detector they just jump into the system, then jump out again. And unlike Armada 2, this is how movement works in this game. You move at impulse, essentially, while in system. A Dark Armada arrived at Zion. I wouldn't say it's a Dark Armada, but it is a fairly dark ship. There he is. That's Locutus of Borg. I love how they added the distortion to his voice as well. That's really cool. Now, when looking at this thing, forget everything you know about Star Trek Armada 1 and 2, where the Borg are incredible wusses. You know, where cubes are pretty much one-on-one matches for... you know, they're one-on-one matches pretty much for the top-level tier ships of the others. That's not happening this time around. And I've researched Assimilation Beam as well. And I think that what I'm going to do is park Locutus up at this planet up here. So this, you know, this planet Arcana list or whatever is useless to me. So what I want to do is block off this Constantaneous system, and I'm going to do that with Locutus. And I want to take the Goddard system, put my trapezoid there, and just simply, you know, just block off that area. Well, we found the Klingons. It looks like they're expanding a little bit. That's okay. We're going to do the same too. Oh, we have a Klingon scout. Unassimilated species identified. And he's gone as well. Good thing about Sins of a Solar Empire, you can increase and decrease time, so it makes the game go quicker or slower depending on whatever. And off goes Locutus. Now, I don't want to go on culture spread at this point. You could do. The Borg are especially good at culture spread with their resource nodes. Sorry, with their nodes, but they're a little bit later in the game. So I am just going to go for industry at the moment. I just want to get as much tech as possible. And you can see the trapezoid's now involved in a bit of a fight. Now, it's a early level trapezoid, so it's not really going to be doing anything too impressive, but it's more than a match for these ships. You don't have to worry about it too much. I think you'll recognise that ship design. I think it was pretty much every neutral species in the Next Generation used that ship. But early in the game, the Borg's one-on-one capability isn't actually that impressive. Certainly from an offensive point of view. It's mainly to do with their defensive point of view, which makes things interesting from their side. And we've got a little Klingon scout ship here, which is going to make itself a bit of a nuisance, but nothing too much to be worried about.
Station construction complete.
I'm throwing up defensive nodes because defensive nodes are really good at holding off pirate attacks or anything like that. And since this is a capital, since this is a capital destruction win map, if I lose my capital early on, I will end up, if I lose my capital to the pirates, which is about the only way I can lose it in the early game, then that would just be really embarrassing, and I don't want that to happen. The trapezoid's really taking its time over this, but I think we've got this overall. Yep.
The collective must grow. The collective must grow.
Thanks, Locutus. I'm sure we all needed to know that. And that's this guy going up as well. Come on. Yeah. So he just came in here to make sure everything's clear. Now, because I've researched colonization on my... trapezoid, I can use it to colonize that planet. I don't really think there's... I really think I should have just used planetary assimilators. They're a lot quicker. I've already built a planetary assimilator as well, so that's something that's going to be annoying, shall we say.
Station construction
Because, yeah,
complete.
slow. And you just have to deal with the fact that, like, in the very early game, the Borg are very, very slow, and you just have to deal with it. I've not really had much luck with the planets around me. There's no Class M, and some of the planets I actually have to research in order to... some of the planets I actually have to research in order to colonize, which is going to make my expansion an awful lot slower because I'm going to need to build adaptation nodes instead of assimilation nodes, which means I can't tech up to better military technology as early. So the first like 30 or 40 minutes of this are going to be like me building up, showing off the game, showing off how nice it looks, initial build up, and then oh, that's an assimilation beam. Now, assimilation works a little bit differently in Sins of a Solar Empire than it does in Armada 2. Basically, the ship, once you activate the assimilation beam or whatever method of assimilation that you had, the ship gains the boarded trait for a certain period of time. And if the ship is destroyed while it's boarded, I believe that means that you assimilate it. Now, in order to make the Borg assimilation beam work at that point, the assimilation beam itself actually does damage, and it does more damage when you... it does more damage the higher level it is, because with capital ships you can actually level them up. And there you go, it was destroyed once when it was in a holding beam, so it now regenerates and it's been assimilated. That's basically the way assimilation works in this game. Top right hand corner you can actually see sale and buying price of both dilithium and trianium. So there's the sort of three-way market that you guys are probably used to with Star Trek Armada 2 being there. Instead of metal and dilithium you have tritanium and metal. Usually, for me at least, dilithium is the one that you never get early enough. And I'm going to build some defense nodes around here. Actually, first thing I'm going to do is get the civilian infrastructure. The reason that you put civilian infrastructure down isn't necessarily because you want to be a nice guy. It's because until you max out, or at least until you upgrade your civilian infrastructure, you will end up paying taxes on the credits that you get from the planet. And those taxes will really hurt. So... Oh, it looks like we've got our first pirate wing, and it won't be the last, and Locutus has kind of been caught out of position here. It's a little bit annoying because the moons that I want, you can see the 2 tritanium and 1 dilithium moon there, they're on the far side of the planet, but the pirates are going to come from the left, from the right side, from the Phoenix system as you see it. And because this is a neutral system, I have to send my planetary assimilator in order to grab them. I can't just colonize the system because it's a Class J gas giant, which means I can't colonize the system. I can't even research to colonize it.
We are one.
Now, I've been caught in a little bit of a nasty situation here because the pirates have snuck past me. So, therefore, I have to have Locutus on Klingon defense. And with him being as slow as he is, I can't really get him into position. So, this defense is going to be left up to the defense nodes pretty much at this point. But they are more than capable of handling a early game pirate fleet. Although the one thing you do have to watch out for with static defences in this game is that the enemy will manoeuvre to try and get around them. You'll see quite a lot of that actually in this game. They will encircle looking for a way through the defences. So you have to be a little bit careful. The other thing that you have to say is in neutral systems like this, you can't just blow up people's mining facilities. You can if they own the system, but if they don't own the system, you have to basically board and capture the mining stations. You can't just do it with a
Station construction complete.
boom bang approach basically. So anyway, the pirates are coming, but it looks like I've got the scum-ridden planet shaggers, huh? Obviously the people who made this weren't English. Oh, maybe they were. Anyway, it looks like I'm going to get the... Yeah, I've got the defense nodes down in time, so they should be okay against that. I'm bringing my trapezoid back just in case.
Station construction complete.
But I think that my defense nodes should be able to take on this number. We will zoom in once I have a look. Can I research anything that makes a difference? I do like the Borg obelisk. The Borg obelisk is basically the anti-planet ship early in the game. They're fairly useful. You know, they're fairly powerful. Have disruptors and torpedoes, and you can see the defense node in just a couple of volleys has just blown that Ravager class ship away. The pirates have decided to focus fire on the planet, which is a tiny bit annoying. Come on, can I get...
The collective must grow.
The camera wasn't a team player early on at this point, but you can see they're actually bombing my planet, so I'm a little bit ticked at them for that, but I don't think that they've got enough firepower to threaten the planet. Well, don't fire at that. And it looks like I've got their attention. Oh no, they decided to destroy my assembly. That's awkward. Well, yeah, you can see they're just sitting there and getting destroyed by the defense grid at this point, so I don't really have to worry too much. My trapezoid will get over there and help out eventually. Locutus, once again, is getting pulled off course. He's not really doing much of a good job here. What you have to do is pretty much force him to stay where he is.
I am Locutus of Borg.
And I need him to be there because I don't want the Klingons to get hold of those stations. Ouch, I don't know what that was that hit the planet. Yeah, and I've distracted one of them now. And I'm putting more emergency facilities in, which means that the planet gets more health. And I am doing industry specialization. As I said, I don't want to focus on culture this early. I just want to focus on getting stuff out. My trapezoid just leveled up. Oh, ouch.
Activate all alcos.
And let's just give it a simulation beam, because that was a mistake not giving it a simulation beam early. Bit of a punch up going around this side, but I don't think we've got too much to worry about. Yeah, they've got caught in between a trapezoid and 2 defensive platforms now. How's that working out for you? Yeah, the battles are a lot longer winded in this than they are in Armada 2. I think in Armada 2 they went too far. You know, the ships really just died way too quickly in Armada 2, and you just ended up with enormous fleets just decimating each other and nothing much else happening. Not saying that doesn't happen in this game, but at least it doesn't happen early game. So that's all their ships that were bombing my planet dealt with. Oh, assimilated. In fact, I assimilated 2 of the raiders there, so I'm building up my own little defense fleet here. Yeah, you had the right idea in the first place, which was run. The incorrect idea is to stay and fight. Okay, let's build up some emergency facilities, I think, here. Or am I going to go for... I'm actually going for logistics. I want to get my research up. It just makes things a lot easier for me. And I can still build the emergency facilities if I want them. But I've got to build an adaptation node because I want to make my planets a lot easier to colonize. I want to be able to colonize some planets. And yeah, unfortunately you don't get the Borg sound files when you click on a ship. You get the original, so it still sounds like there's a Klingon on board that ship for some reason. I like to think maybe it's his call for help or something. And last one. He gets to join the winning side. So the pirate raid, I didn't lose anything, and I ended up with 3 new ships. So that's basically how it goes when you're the Borg. Klingon system, I see. The Klingons like just throw mines all over the... Oh, hello.
We will adapt.
Locutus, will you deal with this, please? Don't know why you just keep hovering over there. It's really annoying. So this was one of the very first games I played, so I hadn't quite got all the controls down right, but basically you have to tell him to hold position, otherwise he will literally just chase anything, and he's so slow he will end up just on the wrong side of the planet, and it's irritating. Some Klingon fighters. Fighters are actually pretty good against big capital ships because they find it hard to be destroyed, but as you can see, this would be a fleet that would actually worry a cube in Armada 2. Allow me to show you what this fleet means in this game. Yeah, get him. I just saw a crystalline life form detected. I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. Yeah, they didn't touch it. Now, one of the ways they did this, and I actually think it's a really clever way of doing it, and to be honest, it's probably, if there were any sort of quote-unquote canon way that the Borg had their powers in the series, this would probably be it. Borg shields are incredibly powerful. They have what's called shield mitigation, which means that a certain amount of damage is reflected off the ships. It's level 4 now, so that's another assimilation beam. So I believe a cube's shield mitigation level, once it gets into a fight, is something like 82%. So like 82% of damage that it takes is ignored. So, you know, considering a cube in late game, certainly once it's max leveled up and you've researched technology, it can have something like 30,000 shields. So if you multiply that by 5 because of the 82% shield mitigation, have 150,000 shields, you can kind of see where, this is going. And if anything, that's sort of the way you can believe that that's how they react into it. They have like super adaptive shielding, but they're not completely invulnerable once you can. Once you knock the shields down, they've just got a hull, and that seems to be kind of what happened in First Contact. You know, the Federation actually battered the ship enough for its shields to fail, and then they were just beating up the hull, and it was just the severe size of the ship that they had a problem with at that point. Okay, so that's that lot dealt with.
Alter course.
I actually want to take that system while the Klingons are regrouping. Or at least I want to try to take that system while the Klingons are regrouping. And yeah, just keep updating the assimilation beam on any ship that has it. Here we go. I get to research the assimilation cube, so why don't we do that? To me, I think that and I researched the dodecahedron there, which I'm not sure I want to. I don't really understand why the cube is this early on the Borg tech tree, considering how powerful it is. And I think it's something that they are going to rebalance. Just trying to think what the other thing was there. The Borg actually had one there. You'd have seen it in red at the top of the screen, where it decreases the amount of time it takes to build their ships. It's on 3 levels and it's 15% per level. So the Borg can build ships up to 45% quicker because a cube building at a normal rate is an incredibly slow thing. You know, it is really slow. Anyway, I wiped out the pirates in that system, but the Klingons have come back, so I dragged Locutus back, and oh, pirates are attacking again. And this sort of thing holds up for quite a while. The Borg are very turtly to play. You can't really fast expand with them or do anything like that. You basically just have to try and form an invincible wall and form an invincible wall and
additional technology acquired.
Just hold on. What I probably should have done, the reason that I've established it where I did rather than where would have been a better tactical place, which would have shut off all these pirates, was the fact that that system had absolutely nothing of value in it, and the system I went into had the 3 mines. So, you know, it was a gamble, definitely, but it also allowed me to get access to this planet, and this planet is amazing. It has like huge tactical and logistics capabilities, and I really wanted access to that. So I've left myself a bit open to pirate attack, just for the fact that I could get a couple of extra really nice planets. And get myself some dilithium as well. This Ravager's trying to circle just so that it can get a shot where it can fire on the planet without being fired back at, but it's not having much luck. And speaking of not having much luck,
The collective must grow.
so anyway, let me know what you think about let me know what you think about these sort of videos, because I can do them in a multiple of ways, assuming you guys even want to see them. I can do them how I'm going to do the second half of this video, which is going to be very much episodic and storytelling. Or I can... There's a Dodec. Or I can just play completely live with less, with a lot less editing involved, a lot less time involved going into one single video, but it also means that I will...
The collective must grow.
it also means that I can't do videos at the same pace, obviously. But for the moment, this is a sort of one-off video, and then I'll probably do Bridge Commander or something along those lines. I think that was the one that was requested most. Bridge Commander and Elite Force 2 are definitely ones which I'll be looking into soon. Although I can't promise I won't suck at Elite Force 2, but hey. Wow, that ship's SOL, isn't it?
We are the Borg.
But yeah, I can't say I'm a massive fan of the Dodec. I do like the Obelisk though, which we should see coming in at some point. I think they're quite cool as frigates anyway. Good grief, ouch. Yeah, that's not a sight you want to see, is it really? Oh, something else came from off screen just to make things worse. That's an obelisk. Otherwise known as an interceptor, but it stands up rather than lies down. Yeah, a vertical interceptor rather than a horizontal one. They got lazy. Alright, let's build up this planet. Just get its mining situation sorted. Because as usual with 4X games, it's all about the resources. You can actually search the planets, that's what that green icon is there. You can search the planets and see if you can get bonuses. I've been assimilating here. The Cutis has also been wandering as usual. Yeah, this is where we have to set up the defense perimeter for the moment. Now, the AI isn't that smart, it will just keep throwing ships at you. I don't think it was meant to deal with assimilation in this game, really. You know, if it had any sort of major sense, it would just literally wait until it had a fleet of about 200 ships and then fling it all at you. Rather than just sending sort of 10-15 ships at a time, which isn't going to dent anything if the Borg have got to do serious shit. This Vulture class cruiser is certainly causing me a few problems. No, I see it's got some buddies as well. Still, never mind. Just got the slow lumbering menace coming in there. And this is pretty much what the entirety of this game ended up boiling down to. Yeah, the assimilation beam gets ridiculously efficient once it's at the top level, which is level 4. I think it lasts longer, it does more damage, it has a lower cooldown. It's basically just ridiculous. One of the funny things is that you can assimilate Klingon carriers, and you'll get all the fighters in there as well. Yeah, this running thing that you're doing is a seriously good idea. I'd do that. Oh, don't know if you're going to get away though. You're not if those torpedoes hit you. No. Well, that was a pretty disastrous attack, wasn't it? Oh, that crystalline life form was what I thought it was. Well, welcome to the crystalline entity. Pretty much what it is in Star Trek Online. That's right, it fires graviton beams in all directions, and it's tough as boots. However, in this early form of the game, it is actually possible to assimilate the crystalline entity. You're not supposed to, but it is possible to assimilate the crystalline entity. I have done it before, as I will show you very shortly. As you can see, I built a little bit of a shipbuilding base on that planet over on the far side, and I'm trying to sort of get ships over here to help. Locutus is perfectly capable of taking on the crystalline entity on his own, but it'd take forever. Even though the crystalline entity has 20,000 shields, 20,000 hull, its hull is a lot stronger than its shields, mainly because it regenerates its hull very, very quickly. I don't know why the entity has shields. There's no real point. It should just have hull, because as far as I'm aware, the entity never had shields, either in Star Trek Online or in the game. There goes one of my ships. You can see the cube desperately trying to assimilate it, but all the cubes is desperately trying to assimilate it. We might need to come back to this. We're only just battering its shields down. It's definitely beginning to... It's getting aggressive now, so it's definitely beginning to take a toll on my smaller ships. And I'm just going to build... think about building Dodecks and then just go for obelisks. Just rally them all to this location. Gives you some scope of how big a Borg cube is, though, doesn't it? One of my planets is getting raided at the moment. How interesting do you think I am in that? There's a crystalline entity here. And as you can see, I've not got much left to fight it with. Clipping. Never mind. So I've only got 3 ships left, 4 if you count Locutus, but it should be enough. Come on, assimilate it. I'd be so happy to have a crystalline entity. But then again, they're even slower than cubes are, so one of the ways of balancing, I guess. But you can't be relied on anything, can you, Locutus? Oh well. But there's the proof. You'll notice the red symbol on the entity in the trapezoid. I did actually assimilate a crystalline entity in a previous game. It was fun. Anyway, back to the drawing board. Oh yes, I've formed a fleet. Oh no, I haven't formed a fleet. That's a pirate fleet. Oh. Well, this is a thing. I have the resource. I don't think I have the resources to build another cube at this point. I've researched it, although then again I might have built it and just sent it out of system. Well, the trapezoid's still here, so we'll see if that's not... Would you mind not bombing my planet? And especially not doing that, where it looks like you're shooting through the damn planet. I don't think this is going to be a big... It's not a big attack again. The defense grid's taking care of this quite nicely. It's very easy when you're playing this to over-tech and not build enough like smaller ships. Really what I could have done, instead of researching dodecahedrons, I could have, I could very easily have just built like a few more obelisks, and then these attacks just wouldn't have any effect on me at this point. I mean, it's not like they have any effect anyway, and you can see the trapezoid's lashing out an awful lot more now that it's at a higher level. You can only level capital ships, you can't level like cruisers or things like that. That'd be foolish. Let's just buy some tritanium because I'm a little bit short. And not much I actually want to research there. I can research extra armor, but I'm not interested in armor at the moment. Oh, level 10? That'd be Locutus, wouldn't it, who's level 10 now. This is what happens when you get ships involved majorly in combat. I wonder if that ship still counts as boarded, given the pounding it's taking. Nope, looks like it's going to die. It's always that sense of anticipation when you... that sense of anticipation when you've got the assimilation... you've got the assimilation dot on the thing, right? Yes! Come on, mine! Yeah, running would be appropriate at this point. Oh, another one for the fleet. They do make a decent job of destroying the assimilated ships before they try and move on to the trapezoid, but they're just not having a huge amount of luck with this, to tell you the truth. It's also, what kind of damn pirate tries to take on the Borg? Surely there's surely there's money and then there's being dead. I can't build a cube yet, I'm just waiting until I can. Well, something blew up there, I'm not sure whose it was. Almost there, and then we can start going hunting. There we go, cube is now on the way. And once that comes out, we're pretty much at game over. Yeah, I am serious, we are pretty much at game over. It's very easy when you play this game just to get stuck on the eye candy for the most part. But let's be professional, shall we? Or at least try. But meanwhile, my cube's been caught out of position. This is a bit later in the game, this is my second cube, and this is where I'm moving on to the more episodic / storyline area. I've also been an idiot and not built enough defences around this area. And that planet only has 1,000 health, so I'm not feeling particularly good about this, considering they're focusing fire on it. And then, no! Get off my research node! Sorry, that's a resource node, not research node. I'd be really pissed if it was a research node. Get off it! Bomb the... Fight the cube or something! Oh, my planet's dead. Whoa, look out. Okay, that explosion was amazing, but this is an incredibly ballsy raid by the Klingons. And they've got away with it as well, so I'm going to have to rebuild here. Once I've taken a little bit of revenge. I definitely want revenge. And yes, I know revenge isn't really a Borg thing, but, you know, the Borg have organic components too. And let's face it, the Queen was stupid enough to want revenge. And a pirate raid's imminent as well, so this has definitely not been my finest hour. And one of their ships got away as well. Annoying. And the Klingons have really launched a raid here, but allow me to show you why Wolf 359 happened. Building some obelisks, I won't need them. Point, I think, made.
We serve the collective.
And we'll just leave the fighters to be mopped up. And here we're at level 5 here for research, which means we can research the assimilator and the adapter and the diamond. The assimilator is the assimilator from Star Trek Armada 1. The adapter is the assimilator from Star Trek Armada 2, or the descent ship. The adapter is really good. Basically adapts to your opponent's weapons and shields, so it does more damage and it does more damage and takes less. But we're going for this insatiable curiosity. The progenitor's designated purpose was to learn all that was learnable and return that information to the creator. Sound familiar? One of the legends behind the beginning of the Borg is that apparently some old machines, and here's my first attack on the Klingons, but this is only a lightly defended outpost, so there's not really too much interesting going to happen here. One cube's going to be able to take them on.
What?
But one of the potential beginnings of the Borg is that the Vija probe was altered by some old machines, so real progenitors and then created the Borg. And that's been used in some fanfic, it's been used in some of the books, but it's never really been done on screen. And if you went by the Destiny storyline, which is another book that's been released, or series of books that have been released, which dealt with a massive Borg invasion, then Vija had nothing to do with it. But basically, there's no canon explanation, and they've decided to go with the Vija explanation. But what that research does is it opens up the Borg's Titan class ship. So if you thought the Borg was scary before, wait until you see that. Yeah, you keep doing your thing, man. It's not like there's anything else for you to do here.
Ready for combat.
I love how they still have their like original voices. They didn't change anything. And that'll be the end of that planet once we're done. I mean, I know it's an asteroid, but you get the idea.
Additional technology acquired.
That's insatiable curiosity researched. And our ships continue to upgrade.
Activate all outposts.
And yeah, upgrading really it does make a difference in this game. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. A level 10 cube is a much more dangerous opponent than a level 1 cube. And here come the pirates again. For some reason the rest of the fleet's sort of hanging back on the edge of the system. I love the sound of the Borg weaponry. But yeah, that planet's fine. It's got like 7,500 health. 2 ships aren't going to take it down in time. Well, they haven't half bought a big fleet here. Just keep them away from the planet for now. One down. Might have to recall my cube once this is done. Oh, Goddard has a cube over it as well. As you can see, I have started producing cubes at quite a staggering rate at this point. Yeah, I'm making a couple of Dodecks. And my trapezoid's in the system. I really need it to do something there because that is a sizable fleet there. We're looking at what, 16 ships?
We are the Borg.
Don't really want to have to use a cube for everything.
Relocate to grid.
You see, I've also done a little bit of expanding there. I just want to take Istria to lock off that sort of area.
State objective.
It's a bit better.
The collective must grow.
As I said, yeah, very easy to look at the shiny thing. And here we go. Time to go assimilating. The Cutis is up to level 10 at this point. He's just got all his abilities.
We are the Borg.
You can see the assimilation beams coming from the left hand side of the screen. That's because I have assimilators out on the battlefield now.
By your command.
You know, let's see if I can get one or two of them on screen. There they are, although one of them's on fire at the moment, but
We are one.
it's just one ship. But yeah, this is what starts happening now.
Wish to improve ourselves.
Whoa. And believe me, this is only going to get worse. Oh, a two-pronged attack. The Klingons, well, certainly the AI can definitely build ships at an impressive rate, I'll give it that much.
We are one.
Well, you can see I kind of have a fleet here, but it does have one distinct disadvantage. And that disadvantage is speed, or lack of it. And you can take advantage of it. A cube is just one target. If you can manage to maneuver a really big fleet round it, you can sort of outstrip the Borg's defences. So it's when they start mass producing spheres and adapters that you have to really worry. I've just decided to go the role-playing route. Oh, there's a nate bar there. Whoa, that bird of prey is getting seriously boarded, but it's not giving up, it's holding on for the Empire. Of course, it would help if my assimilators actually moved to fire on it, but yeah, that ship just withstood the assimilation assault of about 10 assimilators. So, one very honourable crew right there. Fitting they went down with their flagship. Yeah, this is just getting worse and worse for the Klingons. The only saving grace that they have is that they can't be, ships over a certain size can't be assimilated. And now that I've got all of my
We wish to
down,
improve
let's look at
ourselves.
transcendent logic. The old machines equipped our kindred ancestor with all of the components necessary to complete its goal. In time, equipped with great power, technology and a clear purpose, the progenitor amassed data that spanned the universe and beyond. We seek to achieve that goal. Yep, sounds very much like Vija to me. Whoa, look at this attack. And where's the rest of my fleet? Yep, that's right guys, the Klingons outmaneuvered me completely here. I never even saw it. My fleet that was there, which was probably about 40 ships, has just been vaporised and been left with 60 odd Klingon ships here bearing down on my cube. So, let's see how Locutus reacts to this, because this should be a challenge. Well, I said should be. There's still a big fleet there. Operation Payback, I guess?
We will adapt. Hold it force.
Let's go ploughing in.
Station construction.
Shields are at 50%. That fleet's getting decimated. Wow. Yep, this is why you don't take the Borg on in this game. Certainly not alone. 3 versus 1 minimum. The Borg have been provoked. And I think my next move is to take out the pirate base. But first of all, let's have a look at these. Malevolent Epiphany. Progenitor sought to integrate all life, whether organic or synthetic, into its own existence. Thousands of species have joined our collective. And finally, this one, Destroy the Creator. Progenitor was mistaken in but one respect. Upon gaining knowledge which spans this universe, we will have surpassed the Creator. Therefore, we will not comply with returning information to the Creator.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
So yeah, the Borg have completely and utterly overridden their original programming, and now everyone's doomed.
Additional technology acquired.
You'll notice the icon above the ships there. They are now in a fleet, and that's the problem that I sort of had. I didn't keep the ships in a tight formation around the cube, and they ended up getting picked off by the more maneuverable Klingon ships. So basically I'm now going to form what in what in StarCraft 2 would basically be called a death ball, and that's going to be where I go from here, or at least that's the plan. Just take a look at the top of the screen and you'll see I have 927 supply at the moment. That's going to change. And I've now researched everything to do with the Titan, so I can get it up to incredibly high levels. Speaking of getting things up, let's finish off the pirates, because now they've become more of an annoyance than they're worth, and I want to start attacking the Klingons.
Additional technology acquired.
I'm just making things easier for me on P and D class planets, which are things that I have colonized, so I'll be able to put more people on them, which means more tax. Amazing that the Borg pay their taxes as well. But it's not like they can override the will, it's just like, give me all your money. Okay.
Additional technology acquired.
Yeah, just I'm researching both improved dilithium and tritanium mining because I'm consistently running short and just building up my resources for the final fight at this point. Oh, cube leveled up, so Chronoton torpedo. I've neglected adaptation a little bit just because I wanted to get all the cool military tech, but I'm sure there's a better way up the ladder than what I've done. But really, this, as I said, this video is a lot more about the spectacle than it is about the, than it is about playing the game optimally.
We are the Borg.
Just tried to do what it takes not to lose, essentially. And it looks like the pirates have made their last deal.
Negotiation is irrelevant.
But while that base exists, they are going to keep spawning, so I will be taking that base out very shortly.
Additional technology acquired.
More ships, more ships. That's what I want. Well, not more ships, this is more tech rather than more ships. I just want tech. Nothing but tech. Notice I'm maxing out my shields. For the Borg, shields are all that matter to you. You don't really care about armor too much. It's all regarding the shields. Because the shields are what keeps the Borg up. Essentially, that's where all their health lies, is in their shields. So once you've maxed out shields, you just have like super, super, super huge shields. This cube's had its shields battered down just because it's been taking on all these energy platforms on its own. So I'm just having it hang back and regenerate its shields. And eventually it'll be fine. Oh, a pirate raid's been launched, huh? Right here. So right into the arms of this cube. Well, cubes don't have arms, but you get the idea. Sing your last sea chanty, matey. Love how it gives you a warning down the bottom. It's like, this massive ship's shields are down. Like, yeah, we're cool. Well, it looks like quite a few of the pirate ships have got past. It's like, if you're... it seems like running away is probably the best way to survive against the Borg. Who'd have thought? I do also have longer ranging weapons at this point, which makes things an awful lot better for me.
State objective.
So, yeah, that went fairly well. Weaken the pirate raid again, and we can get to taking out that planet. So that's the pirates dealt with pretty much. And now we're going to go and try and rebuild our shattered fleet. Yeah, this is a level 10 cube compared to what the last one was. And there's a crystalline entity somewhere. I saw that come up on my screen. There's a crystalline entity somewhere.
Station construction complete.
Is that? Yes. Well, I guess from this side it's another chance to assimilate one. I'd really like to assimilate a crystalline entity. It would be awesome. Collective multitasking again just means you can shoot at multiple things. It makes your weaponry just an awful lot better. And considering when you're using cubes, you've got it's one big target. The fact that you can fire at more things is just awesome. But why shouldn't the collective be able to multitask? I don't think anyone's ever explained that to me. Yeah, pirates, you get involved. Yes, this ship is a cube. It has weapons on every side. Oh, that shield's down on the entity. I don't know, maybe I like to think that the pirates had a crystalline entity was their ultimate super weapon or something. Why won't you board it? Board it! Put your assimilation beam on it. No, don't kill it. Oh. Oh well, we are the Borg. At this point it's fairly obvious that I could pretty much end this game anytime I wanted to, but I do have a couple more tricks up my sleeve, including that new ship produced at Massalia.
We are the Borg. I will comply.
As you can see, I'm fleeting everything into this one giant fleet, and anything entering the system at this point is either being destroyed or assimilated immediately. So my fleet's just going to keep expanding. Anyway, here we are. And what did we get? There she is. The Borg Titan. And as anyone who's recognised this shape know or has played Star Trek Online, that's Vija, or at least the actual ship which contributed, the actual ship inside the massive cloud that was shown to be Vija. That is pretty much it. And yeah, so in case you didn't realise, the Borg now control a progenitor vessel now, or a Borg vessel.
Initiating new directive.
Yeah, things just got a lot worse for the Klingons. And I can build multiple of those. If I have the command space for them, I can build multiple of them. But yeah, this is now reaching preposterous levels. You notice that I had 900 supply before, it's now 228. And that is because I have just been assimilating stuff left, right and centre with assimilators and Locutus. So the old classic standard behind most of my playing RTSs if I can, which is what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine too, has pretty much come to the fore here.
We are one.
For those wondering what the Borg, what the entity one is, yeah, that was when I think I had 3. I think I'd actually assimilated all 3 entities at that point. So it's super lucky, but you know. But you can see the Klingons are just throwing like a few ships at a time. That's not the way to. That is not the way to attack the Borg. You attack the Borg with hundreds of ships. And I just built a unicomplex creator, because what I'm going to do is create a unicomplex in this system. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a really freaking huge starbase. I'm going to build one of those in this system, and then this fleet's going to go hunting.
We will adapt.
Oops, I hit retreat. I didn't want to do that.
Relocate.
And so it's really just building up to the final push at this point.
State new directive.
Because once this fleet starts moving, it's just going to massacre anything in its way. It's going to take absolutely no time just to swarm all over Klingon space. So at this point I realise my ships are still...
assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Proceed.
God, I love that. So at this point I forgot that they were still labelled as retreating, so some of them legged it. Yeah, because I've researched those Titan things, I not only have a Titan, but my ships move quicker because of it as well, which is a vast relief. I mean, we're still not fast, but you know, we're not glacially slow either. For reference, I cut about 3 hours out of this LP, which was just sort of building up, fighting off really small battles, and limping to various places. As you can see, I even assimilated the pirate base, which is a bit mean, but hey. I wouldn't be playing the Borg if I wanted to be nice. Just dropping my unicomplex down. I want it on this side of the planet, so I'm just waiting for everything to move. Because this thing takes up a lot of space, especially when it's in its maximum, you know, sort of maximum upgraded form. All star bases, I think, have 4 upgraded forms, 3 maybe, 3 upgraded forms. Base form 3 upgrades, and at their final upgrade, unicomplexes are more powerful than cubes are. So, yeah, they just don't have the same assimilation rubbish that's happening here. Really don't believe the Klingons have much left to fight me with at this point. Oh no, an economic downturn. Whatever will I do? Assimilate another ship, I guess. And incoming.
Additional technology acquired.
That's what I'd be saying roundabout now, but you're certainly not going to get it.
Proceed to sector.
Oh, by the way, Titan here as well. And yes, those are the Vija torpedoes that it's firing. Yeah, the Titan's pretty strong. Again, like all Borg things, it's Again, like all Borg things, it's better at fighting off fleets than one-on-one fights, but at this point it doesn't matter. This is just a straight up mullering. Well, the starbase is certainly taking it on the chin.
Additional technology acquired.
And just like all stupid things, you'll notice my supply is minus 800 at this point. That's how much I've assimilated. But unfortunately my ships are stupid and decide to walk straight into the antimatter minefield, and I'm going to lose a lot of like low class ships doing this. So, well, not that many. Not enough that I actually am able to build ships. Meanwhile, in not giving a crap about anything land, I actually believe that's the Klingon capital I'm attacking over there, but I just haven't bothered with it. And as usual, there's no greater success than excess, so let's... How can you add their biological and technological distinctiveness when you're nuking them from orbit? That's the end of that. Oh no, that's not the capital I'm attacking. Or is it? Yes, it is the capital my Titan's attacking. And the Klingons aren't coming to defend it. Well, I'm going to wall them off. I'm going to take this
By your command.
area, Scorpio. And that should
Additional technology
should
acquired.
block them off.
State objective.
Oh, I see what it's going after, this colony vessel, so it can't, so the Klingons can't come back. Interesting strat. Those torpedoes are so cool. One thing that I didn't get to show of this game was the Borg's transwarp ability. You'll notice that the Borg go from system to system using the connections between systems. If you have transwarp gates, you can actually just warp directly between two systems which have transwarp gates. And the one thing that Vija can do is it can act as a transwarp gate. So if you have like your big fleet just sitting across the map at the edge of a system, you can just have, whoa! You can literally just have Vija yank them into whatever system they need to be, but I haven't needed to develop transwarp technology here. We're just going for a stomping. In bigger galaxy missions, or you know, when you have multiple stars, transwarp is so amazing.
You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
I do like how they added that in as an ability where the Borg say that. So, like, you know, you'll attack and then the Borg will just say, "We are the Borg. You will be assimilated." As long as Cisco isn't here. This is just about the Klingons' last stand. Good grief. How are you doing, VJ? Okay, I see we're doing okay there. I should probably call it Beeja, because I think that's how it's referred to on the Star Trek Online forums, or at least in some areas that's what it's referred to. Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing, dude. But once you're done, get out of there and retreat, because I want to get everything together for this last fight. We're going to win in style. Yep, the fleet split off and destroyed the colony. And there's not much left of the Klingon Empire. So yeah, overpowered and unrelenting. Love having fighters. In Galen's the capital world, and I don't know why. For some reason, I thought the capital world was elsewhere, and I just abandoned Beeja's attack on this planet for some reason, which I have no idea why. And I decided to go after that planet up there. So, prolonging the inevitable, I believe this is called, but fortunately, it does work out. Yeah, I'm telling Beeja to retreat just so we can get the final curtain done. Because I think the capital's up at the top for some reason. That small yellow arrow means that it's the capital. Still, this is it. The last flight to the Klingons, and Locutus goes first. Followed by all his friends.
Proceed to sector.
And this is all the Klingons have left. And here's a hint, it won't be enough.
Invalid objective.
We are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Resistance is in fact futile. Certainly to this. 2 cubes, 1 Titan. And a fleet of about, I don't know, what's that, 80 ships? Well, the expansion is probably going to include Hail the Conquering Dominion, so we shall see. And there will also be some balance changes. I believe the Borg will be less overpowered, but there'll still be a quote-unquote boss fight. Mowing through. And there you go, a military victory. The Klingons have no chance of coming back. They have no military with which to fight me now. So, even though I decided to abandon destroying their capital for some reason, I have emerged victorious just as quickly through destroying their military. And if you want to see a bit more of this, guys, let me know. You know, if you think that this is something that you want to see as well as something else, just let me know. Let me know what format you'd like to see it in. Bear in mind that these sort of edited videos do take a lot longer to do. And it'll probably be something that I do in addition to another LP if I'm doing one. And so, yeah, it's really up to you guys what you want to see. But with the Klingons dying honourably, and they did die well.
Additional technology acquired.
I believe it's time for us to close the curtain on this. And onto the buildings.
Additional technology acquired.
I think it might be worth doing a 3-on-1 or something similar with the Borg. See what the computer, how the AI can come up with. Well, let's wipe the last vestiges of the Klingon Empire away.
Destroy the coward!
And finally bomb their bomb what I thought was the capital planet, but isn't. But this will be a spectacle at least. And with that, the Klingon Empire is destroyed. And the Borg reigns supreme. Again. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this LP, guys. It's been a bit of work, but it's been quite a lot of fun. And I'll probably be starting Bridge Commander soon. And I hope that you guys will continue to stick with me. Thanks very much for watching. And this is Boomer, and I will see you next time, guys. Thanks very much for watching.